proceed to the next joint.
Alright, we live. What it do?
Yo, what's going on, family?
Shit, same shit. What's good with your bro?
I can't call it, man. I might spoil it, man. How was your week, man?
How was my week? How was the week this week? Week went by pretty fast, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Week went by pretty fast, man. Weather was good for a couple days, a couple rainy days, but that damn temperature did drop like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But nah, I still think the temperature, weather was good considering.
Yeah, wasn't bad, man. Shout out to our brothers, man. Shout out to rap, man. Fucking us up with that music.
Yeah, man. I was definitely thinking that Termite had the motherfucking trophy, but
So that motherfucker is beaten. So
fucking it. Is it rap or is it easy?
It's rap. It's rap. But I think in a competition.
No. I'm not saying is it rap or is it easy as far as who got the best. I'm saying as far as who we giving the credit to.
It's not. Easy didn't do it.
Oh, nah?
Nah.
I thought Easy did it.
He said some dude out here in Virginia did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's those fiberglass bags, man.
Shit.
Those fiberglass bags got them sounding like that, man. So anybody that wants to get into that sound system thing, man, on a motorcycle, it's expensive, man.
Yeah, get your money right.
Yeah, get your money right, man. And it's the little things that you don't know about.
Get your money right. My money ain't right. My shit still sound like a Walkman.
Man, I thought my bike sounded good for the amount of speakers it had on it. It don't sound nothing like raps. But for the amount of speakers, I thought my bike sounded good.
Yeah, your bike sound good.
Man, but Jesus Christ.
Your bike sound good.
Rap's bike is beaten.
My shit sound like these motherfucking headphones we got on right now.
Alright. Hey, but we gonna get into some serious shit, man. My brother just put me up on game, man, about you can give it a name, I can't pronounce it.
Keimani Latigue out of Ohio.
Keimani Latigue.
Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, if y'all don't know that story. It's a sad story, you know what I mean? Definitely read up on it, send your condolences to the family, but it's an extremely sad story.
All right, break it down for us, bro.
So young girl, 13-year-old girl went missing. So I think she was missing for about a week. And then what the cops said, the family kept giving, inconsistent stories. The father, I think the grandmother as well. So it went from like a missing, they looked at it as a missing person case, but then it, like I said, with their inconsistent stories, they started investigating it for something worse. And, their worst fears came true when they found her. They found the little girl in a abandoned, vacant house. And currently the father is under arrest for her murder. When they found the little girl, they said her neck was almost severed off.
Jesus.
Her hands were cut off.
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't know what this dude,
What type of time he was on?
right, to do that to your child.
To me, it's only one reason. And that's that he's been molesting the young girl, and she got pregnant. That's what I believe.
Well, they do.
And I don't know anything about the story. My brother just put me on this right before we started. And immediately I went for that reason.
Yeah, the story did say that, in the autopsy report that she was sexually assaulted, but it didn't say anything about her potentially being pregnant.
Yeah.
But it did say she was sexually assaulted.
So I believe the brother sexually assaulted her. Got high. How old was she? Said she was 13?
13. A couple days away from her 14th birthday.
Yeah, so she probably was going to tell, and he got high. Because I think you got to be high to almost sever somebody's neck.
Man, you gotta be some whatever demon is inside of you.
Yeah. To serve somebody's neck and almost and cut their hands off. You know, you watching some fucked up movies because you think about fingerprints and all this shit. But yeah, I think that brother was high, man. He might have got real high and killed the young girl, the young lady, the young queen because I think he I'm guessing that autopsy don't show it, but I'm thinking she was pregnant, man. Look at this.
But shit, could you imagine? You can't do that to your worst enemy. You do that shit to your child.
Yeah.
Come on, to your child.
That's some wild shit.
That's the thing that's crazy to me, man. And it's sad. It's unfortunate, and I know they say you're not supposed to, man, but just certain things in life, man, make you question God.
That was strong right there, man.
You know what I mean? Like how does that happen to a child? You know what I mean? Like what? And they say stuff like, when people gut pass, it was their time type of shit.
Yeah.
This little girl ain't even lived the future yet. You know what I mean? Or like when little kids, like babies, have cancer or heart problems and stuff like that. They're passing at a very young age. Like to me, and right or wrong, man, that's the type of thing that make me question God. Like, come on,
Yeah, it's funky, man. It's funky, man. I'm not gonna tell my grandmother you said that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell mine either.
Man, you know how long your prayer would be and how hard she'd be squeezing your hand for the prayer.
And like I said, I know, what I mean, the people that's really into church, like my grandmother, what I mean, super into church. But how can you not question for stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And all our 26 listeners.
Shout out to all
If I'm
26.
wrong,
Word.
tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And if I'm right and I got the right to question God, let me know that too. You know what I mean? Put it out there for me in the scriptures. Let me know what scriptures I should be looking at to prove my point either way. Cause I mean, life ain't fair, but the shit just don't make sense, man.
Yeah.
It does not make sense. So yeah, if y'all don't y'all have not, read up on the story, it's a sad story. But definitely keep that young queen's name, living on forever.
Wow. And hey, man, that'll take us into that El Salvadorian prison.
Yeah, that's where he need to go.
Yeah, man. Do you think that if you guys haven't heard about it, man, it's a prison. And my man Adano turned me on. He told me, he said, man, Dre, you gotta check this out. But it's El Salvadorian prison, and this is where Trump sent. Oh, it's like CEOTE. This is where those one of those two planes, or if not both of them, I think one of them went to El Salvador, the other one to Venezuela. I think, I'm not sure.
It's Sacat.
Yeah, and that's where there's a guy from here in Northern Virginia, and he was proven to be a citizen, and they still sent him over there. So he's locked up. It's been on the news down here, Channel 9 News, where they said they know that this guy is innocent, but it's going to be hard to get him back.
Yeah, the motherfuckers just said sorry.
Yeah. But this prison, man, when these people go in, they're in, you go in all white. You get white t-shirt, white shorts, white socks, white shoes. You're handcuffed and you're shackled. And you have to, like, bend over. I'm not talking about no homo stuff. I don't do that stuff. But you're bent over, and they cut all your hair off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. And then you get in there. You guys the people are lined up when they finish, and every place you go from that position, bent over, you have to run in unison to wherever you're going, to your cell, to work out, wherever you're going, because they do let them work out, but it's under strict guarded conditions, and you got it's like 100 people in a cell type thing. There's bunk beds. Bunk beds are 4 stories high, no mattress, all metal. There's a toilet in the corner, and if you were in a nice house, it looked like a square jacuzzi, but it's where all of them have to take their bath. And this is what goes on. And bringing that to your remark where you say that's where this guy should go. And I know we got a lot of people over here that think about humanity and all this stuff.
That ain't no humanity.
But is people who commit heinous crimes, do you think that they should go to places like this? It's because they're hole. When they put you in the hole, it's really a hole. And over here, that prison won't make it because it'll have to be humane. You gotta have this, gotta have that. But we're looking at stuff now on social media where the prisoners are frying chicken. They got cell phones. We got YouTube channels.
Making fucking music videos.
Yeah, making videos. They doing all this stuff. And I'm just talking about people who committed heinous crimes. I'm not talking about the people that are in jail for,
hand-to-hand sales.
Yeah, hand-to-hand sales. You may have got caught with
DUI.
Yeah, even if you got caught with a couple birds, I don't expect you to go to like a prison like that.
Like however you say this shit.
Yeah, but if you've done something heinous, would
kill your child?
Yeah, would you agree that they need to go to some place like this where their life shouldn't be? There should be like no
human rights.
Minimal to no pleasantries when you get up and you have to move. So your time in your cell, your time. But when you guys moves, you don't want anybody to have any kind of pleasantries if you committed these heinous crimes, because there's no deterrent.
1000%.
Yeah, there's no deterrent for these crimes.
Because I don't think you should get the death penalty for it. Because I feel like that's the easy way out. I feel like you need to suffer. You gotta suffer.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you should suffer for the rest of your life, but like you need to suffer. Like chop one of this nigga hands off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let this nigga figure out how to live life. Stab him in the neck daily. You know what I mean? With like a fucking like the penalty needs to fit. You know what I mean? The crime.
Yeah.
But you don't get to just take the easy way out and get the death penalty.
Yeah, these families are. There's people who have committed heinous crimes that are in the same area as people who've, they got a chance. Like over there, they hand out sentences. These guys one of the guys they showed, he has over 1,000 years. He's been sentenced to over 1,000 years.
MS-13 dude.
Yeah, and there's a thing. The gangs that are over there, it's like, I think they said it was like 3 main gangs. You guys can look it up. I saw it on YouTube. I think it's CEOTE or something like that, right?
Yeah. CEOCOT.
Yeah. And
some shit.
Check it out.
CECOT.
Man, you guys gotta check it out. It's crazy. But do you think people who commit heinous crimes deserve to go to some place like that? What do you think about people that
Or do you believe in a death penalty?
Yeah. Do you believe in a death penalty? And what do you think about people if you commit, and now I'm talking about heinous crimes. I'm not talking about drug dealers who little drugs. I'm talking about
heinous shit.
People like this guy who severed the neck and cut off hands and shit like that. Should they have all these, like some of those guys have diets that they got, I don't eat this, I don't eat that, and the prisons have to
be amenable.
Yeah, it's me. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck what you eat. This is what it is. You
Muslim?
Yeah.
Eat this motherfucking pork chop, huh?
Yeah. Come on, man. Read that book again. Something in there says that it's okay. Something in there says it's okay, man. You
you
better
just gonna
learn.
starve, huh?
Yeah, you gotta learn how to cook this shit like halal. You better do something,
Better
man.
pray over it.
Yeah, say something, man. You in that corner 12 times a day. Put one up for this pork chop, man, because this is what it is today.
This is it. This is all we
Yeah.
got.
Tomorrow may be something different, but today, if you want to eat, this is what it is. You know. I think that we cater. We do a lot of catering, man. And I don't want to disrespect nobody's religion. I don't want to disrespect nobody, man. But
But that's where human being, you know what I mean, human rights come into play.
yeah,
And like you said, depending on the crime, you don't deserve any human rights.
yeah,
You know, depending, and in this dude's case, he deserves zero human rights.
yeah. If he's guilty, man, he don't deserve nothing, man. You know what I mean? He don't deserve nothing, man. If this guy's guilty, he don't deserve nothing. And when you see the girl, man, when you see the young queen, you gotta see her, man. She's a beautiful young girl, man.
And anybody that was aware of it, because like I said, I feel like I feel like they took may have taken the grandmother in due to suspicion of her knowing about it, but on the, you know, in the same breath, anybody that is aware of things like that going on, they don't deserve no fucking human rights either.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And that goes to, man, we could push this all the way to like, I ain't got no respect for anybody in Puff Daddy's camp that's coming out now, or that he employed that didn't quit when they knew
shit that was going on.
what he allegedly was doing. Because right now, I'm not, you know, we all know who I work for, but if you're innocent until proven guilty, why is this man still locked up? You said he can't go nowhere. You took all his passports. You did everything. And this man is accused of stuff. And he's locked up. And he can afford bond. You know?
Well, to me, that part of it is very suspect. And I say that because motherfuckers are fucking around and be accused of attempted murder or murder, and motherfuckers are fucking around and get bombed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And may just be on house arrest or something. You know what I mean? So what is he actually accused of?
The same thing that R. Kelly is convicted of.
Sex trafficking?
That's it. Well, I'm going to say that's it. I'm speaking out of ignorance, but it's not for, just like R. Kelly, it's not for anything that people would think. Everybody thinks that R. Kelly's in jail for being a pedophile, and he's not. It's sex trafficking. I think he has cases in other states for something, but the crimes he's convicted of is mainly sex trafficking and some other, you know, some other. It's not like what we think it is. It's the sex trafficking thing. But
yeah, to your point, if you're aware of some shit that's going on and you don't speak out about the shit,
yeah,
you just as motherfucking guilty.
yeah, if you see it and you want some G shit and you like, oh, I can't work here. Nah, this brother getting down bad. And then when they interview you, talk about it. Okay, but you've been there all this time, and you watch this stuff. And one of the dudes says he was there the whole time. He said he stayed there because he thought he could stop it or mitigate the situation and all this other stuff.
Did he ever attempt to stop it or mitigate it?
Like, come on, man. Are you serious? You stayed there. You watched all these allegedly women getting beat, and now you coming out and you can't push the microphone from in front of your face because you trying to find it to talk about this dude when you didn't talk about him when he was signing your check. If it was that big of a thing to you then I think you should have walked away from it.
That nigga was probably recruiting him for the freak offs.
Yeah, man, this dude is terrible, man.
Yeah,
that's the part I ain't got no respect for.
Okay, so with that being said, because like you kind of talking about with Keimani Latigue and not really following it. Yeah, I hear the puffy shit, but I don't really follow it too close like that, right? So with the puffy shit, outside of, you know, the video that pretty much everybody's seen with him chasing Cassie in the hall, you know, chasing her down the hallway.
Yeah, that's dead.
And
statute of limitations is gone on that.
And they said CNN fucked that up. They said CNN altered the video somehow, and it got like thrown out of court. Essentially they can't use it anymore because CNN messed with the original video and altered it to the one that was released, and the original video was somehow deleted or whatever the case may be. But anyway, outside of that, I don't really know anything that he was accused of or was doing. So, what was heinous to, you know what I mean? What would you consider heinous that they said he's done where he potentially wouldn't be deserving of the human rights that we talk about? You know,
Puffy?
yeah,
From what I'm hearing,
nothing.
it's a he had a he had a he had a party, man. You know, and like I say, they say that everybody that's even jokingly people that are talking, I left before that happened. I left before that happened. So if you knew something was happening and you left, cool. But the people that stayed, they knew that something was finna happen, and they stayed.
They stayed because of it.
Yeah,
They
you know what
wanted
I'm
to be
saying?
part of it.
From the stuff I hear, they stayed, and ain't nothing wrong with you staying. If that's how you get down, it is what it is. I don't have no problem with it because people, you got people doing all kind of foolishness, man. You
Every
got
day.
people. Money is so crazy. The the stuff that people do for money, it doesn't surprise me. They were talking about Nick Cannon, right? And the young ladies that he has babies by.
That nigga out there, goddamn,
Yeah.
trying to recreate
And
and
I'm by no means of
repopulate.
imagination. Yeah, by no means of imagination am I saying that Nick Cannon is not is an atrociously looking guy that has to pay for these beauty because all the women they're good looking women. So I don't think that he has to I don't think he has a problem getting a girl.
Okay.
But if he wasn't who he was, I think well, how can I say? I think the women are okay if the relationship doesn't work out. Like they don't care about the relationship aspect of it.
Right, because financially,
Yeah.
they gonna be straight.
So in my opinion, I think it's all about finances. So you brought a life into this world. I hope they, you know, they want to be mothers, and they weren't just looking out
For self?
for, yeah, for self to
Self.
be set for life, so to speak,
Yeah.
if they handle the money correctly.
Right.
Because there's no because I just can't see anybody going for that. And like he has
36 other baby mamas.
yeah, and you just a number, and because you look at them, all of them kind of look the same, you know.
The baby mamas?
Yeah, so there's nothing spectacular about like there's a dude named Kevin Samuels, and he said this thing right. It's funny shit. And I'm sure all of our 26 listeners probably heard of Kevin Samuels. But he was talking to a young lady, and he told the lady, he said, "Look down." The girl was talking about how special she was and blasé. He said, "Look down." He said, "If your gut's not in the way, can you see your private area, your vaginal area?" She said, "Yeah." He said, "All women have one. What else do you have?"
That's it.
You know what I mean? So you got all these pretty women, exotic women that see the stuff that he has going on with each one, making babies at an alarming rate, and you choose to get in bed with this guy. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be set financially. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But you're bringing a baby into the world.
Right.
To be set financially. That's the problem. If that's the case, you're bringing a child into the world to be set financially with somebody who doesn't. If you had to bet, the safe bet would be to say he's not gonna be with me.
This thing got 12 kids.
Is it 12?
12.
Yeah.
12 kids.
You know, and
So
him and Mariah aren't together.
it's a lot of damn kids.
Yeah, you
But
know,
now, okay, do you think what makes you a good father? Does financially providing for your children make you a good father? Because with 12 kids, it's impossible for you to be in 12 kids' lives simultaneously and father or parent them all the same. So with that being said, what makes you a good father
it has
to
to.
12 kids?
To me, it has to be the time, because I know that when it comes to time, if I'm evaluating myself and comparing myself to you, my man Hillian, um, uh, Brian, B, RD, all my club brothers that I've seen the time that you guys put in, and me, I made the financial thing. You know what I'm saying? For example, like when you come into this company we work for, you can move around, but my brother Ant chose not to move around. He chose to stay on the bus because his seniority allowed him to do better things. Early straight, weekends off. So him and my sister, his wife Kim, they're at the kids' games every week. One's at one, one's at the other. Vice versa, or if the time allows, they're both at one, both at both games. Blase, blase. You know what I mean?
All right.
And he did that. He drove that bus until his kids were graduated, and then he came and he moved to another position. But those were sacrifices that I didn't make,
All right.
and because I didn't make those, I don't have that that relationship that you're talking about. A great father with the kids, because I'm a good father. I'm a fantastic provider, but am I my kid's friend? You know what I'm saying? I
I mean, do we need
respect
to
the
be the
parent.
kid's friend?
Yeah, no, but that's the discipline part. But you know how you my kids won't call me and say, "Hey man, look what I did, Dad. Look what I did." But they'll call their mom and say that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that's how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? My mom was chasing education, and there's no shot to my mom and no shot to my dad at all, because my dad is awesome. My mom is awesome, but my mom was chasing education, chasing higher education. You know, she graduated not magna cum laude, the one under it, because her sister graduated magna cum laude. Rose graduated, but my mom graduated high up there at
What's the one
Alabama
under it?
A&M.
Summa?
Yeah, it might have been summa cum laude. My mom graduated that, and then we moved to Miami early in my life, and then she went to University of Miami. You know, my mom used to run one of the biggest. She ran one of the biggest rehab centers and I'm talking about not drug rehab, but Jackson Memorial Hospital, and that's where people get flown to. My mom used to run that joint,
Okay.
and she chased education. She got degrees from University of Miami, all this shit. So I chased that. My mom chased, I didn't chase education. I kind of ran away from it once I got in college. But yeah, I think that's what makes you a great father. If you can balance the two, you're perfect. You're fucking fantastic if you got the time. The time is what it is, man.
Okay.
Word.
And with 12 kids, there's no way in hell
Nah, I don't believe so.
you can dedicate the time.
I don't believe so at all. I don't believe so at all, man. I think that he's counting on his money being there for him,
Okay.
as opposed to him.
Okay.
Whatever they want to do. Hey, whatever his kid's name, he wants to go to the zoo. Take him. We'll get the G wagon. If he wants to like elephants or koala bears, buy 100 stuffed koala bears, put them in the back, tell him it's from Daddy, take them, and then FaceTime me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what he does, but with 12 kids, and I think they're all in that. I don't know if they're 5 years apart.
Shit, don't give me the line.
You know what I'm saying? But they're all kind of young.
They're young kids, right?
And they're all at that age where they kind of like to do the same thing. They're one not far from each other. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think populating the world the way he's doing, and it's not just him, there's plenty of other people doing it, but do you think populating the world in that manner and not being able to, because you said you feel time is, everybody, all people won't feel the same way. Some people may look at it as, I take care of my kids financially, so that makes me a good father. So, with you saying time, do you feel it's selfish to bring that many kids in the world and not be able to devote your time to them and raising them?
Yeah. Yeah. I believe it's selfish. I don't think he sees it as selfish. I think that because I think if he didn't have the money he had, do I think he would make the same decision?
But the good Lord said, "Be fruitful and what's the scripture? Be fruitful and
multiply.
multiply."
He's multiplying, but I don't think he meant like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he meant like that. But I mean, when you have that amount of money, and I don't know how much money he has, but he has a lot of it. He
caked up,
so he can get from here to there as fast as he wants to. I believe, but is it fast enough? You know what I'm saying? Is it fast enough for when you're like, I don't have any daughters, but if you have a daughter and she says, "I want my daddy," and you're not there,
yeah, I'm gonna
is
tell you
it
that
fast enough to get there?
No, it ain't. Mine is 10 hours away, and it was funny because I was just having this conversation with B the other day. I have cut back on on how much I talk to my daughter from when she left to go to school, because my daughter's in school in Chicago, and Chicago ain't what the news makes Chicago out to be.
Yeah.
Fucking around with the news will have you scared to fucking go to Chicago. Chicago ain't what they make it out to be. However, she's still a young black girl out there by herself. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's got her friends, her roommates, and stuff like that. But I ain't got no family in Chicago.
Right.
So knowing the crazy that goes on daily, in the world, and not just there, not just in Chicago, but in the world, period. Mm-hmm. And then stuff like this, young lady Keimani Latigue, it's the out of sight, out of mind thing for me that helps me cope better with her being out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when I'm talking to her regularly and thinking about her regularly, that shit puts me on edge. You know what I mean? That shit really puts me on edge. And I don't even know how the hell I got sidetracked to that.
No, it's not
in regards
sidetracked at all, man. It has a lot to do.
You know what I mean? To the conversation of being there and being, having that time or giving that time. Because you were saying about, having a daughter and saying, I want to see you now. I need to see you now. Yeah. There is no, regardless of the wealth that you have, you still ain't going to be there in the blink of an eye if there's, cities or states or,
right.
continents away. So yeah, that time, but again, it's, everybody doesn't look at it that way. It's not time to everybody. Mm-hmm. Some people look at it as, as long as I take care of you financially, I did my part.
Yeah. And being a person that did it, and that's why I call it selfish, because I'm a person that's done it. And now I'm chasing the time part. I'm trying to spend time now. Like Miles, my youngest son, he's getting ready to start. Well, he's driving already, but that's the time I have in the car with him. I try to have weekly conversations where I call them both down here to our illustrious studio and talk to them. By the way, next week we will be shooting in probably in an undisclosed location. Denzel Robinson.
Oh, I thought we was gonna have Denzel Williams this time.
Yeah, I think it is Denzel Williams. He'll be here. A special guest, Denzel. Just call him by the first name, and we'll what do you call that thing when you clickbait. So Denzel will be on the show next week.
Williams.
But yeah, to get back to what you're saying though, but when you spend a lot of time, and like I seen the stuff you did, and and I seen the time you gave your kids, and then I see the stuff I did, and I see the time I gave my boys, and I'm like, wow, I dropped the ball on that joint. You know, I really dropped the ball. Chasing money on at Metro because I ain't have no other hustle. Everything is illegal.
Yeah, but the difference is I wasn't coming home to mine every single day. I was splitting time between me and my ex-wife. So of course, you know what I mean, you're in the house with your boys.
Yeah,
So you see them every day. You know what I mean?
almost,
I'm seeing mine,
almost every day.
3 days a week or 4 days a week, just, you know what I mean, depending, give or
Yeah,
take. So I think that plays a big part as well. You know, I gotta essentially catch up for that time. And then for a long time, I felt like it was a thing of, nope, I ain't even gonna go there.
the only plus to my side is that now, when I have conversations with them, that I can explain stuff to them and they'll understand it.
All right.
That's the only plus. There's no plus to missing a lot. But the only plus, because I try to find the silver lining. And the silver lining is that when I do talk to them, I can talk to them, not man to man, but man to man. And I can break stuff down to them, and they'll understand.
Well, there's no such thing as it ever being too late. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as long as you're open to talk,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, they'll be willing to talk.
I'm chasing, one thing I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. I got two good ones. But I'm not gonna say I didn't cheat and take cliff notes from all my brothers. You, Brian, Ant, my other brother Rick Ross, Rose. I watched Rose do it with his daughter. I just watched it, man. And shout out to all my brothers who have kept L train. I'm watching all of them. Do what they do. Crazy ass Joker. Our new brother SA. I'm watching. Even though SA's kids are younger than mine, but I'm still watching. Because this thing don't stop. And I don't know when I'm gonna be a grandfather.
Yeah, I'm about to say you got a plan for grandparent.
But when I am a grandfather, I'm gonna be the best damn grandfather. I'm going to the white belt certification, the yellow belt certification.
Everything.
I'm gonna be there for everything that happens with the grandkids. I'm not gonna have nothing but time to spend with them.
You think you're gonna be a grandparent?
Yeah, I hope so. Well, Drake getting ready to go to Japan. I might have a little Japanese grandbaby or something like that, man. You know what I mean?
Have you ever had that conversation with him? If he want kids or not?
Nah, man, nah. These kids nowadays, I don't think they want no kids.
My
man.
kids told me they don't want no kids.
Word?
Yeah, man. Both my kids told me they ain't having no damn kids.
They give reason?
Nah, they just said they ain't want no kids.
Yeah.
I can see my son not having no kids.
Really?
Yeah. That little motherfucker selfish, man. That little motherfucker is selfish.
Slim, ain't nothing like a little you, man.
Yeah.
Male or female, ain't nothing like a little you, man. When that thing comes out, man, and you like, Lord have mercy, my life about to change. And my first, I worried about finances.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have $1 million to have a kid. $1 million, and we were in Rochester, man. And in Rochester, I had all the hookups. When I tell you all the hookups, nigga, anything you needed, I could get. Anything, I could get. So, baby formula, Pampers. I had a man that worked at the hospital, so I had all of that shit. Anything you needed, but you just think you need $1 million. But
I mean, for the most part, our community, and I don't even say our community, but I'm speaking for our community because I know our community. I see our community. I don't know any other communities. But in our community, 9 times out of 10, we don't plan these little motherfuckers.
Nah, hell no.
They just sneak up on us.
What?
Yeah. You know, one good night of passion or not. And you know, a late cycle and a pee on a stick and a
turns to a forward conversation. She saying I'm pregnant and you saying you what?
Is it mine?
Forward. I'm pregnant. You what?
Shit.
God damn it.
But yeah, we don't plan, but we make it work.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
We don't plan, but we figure it out. And that's one thing. You know, when I talk about our community, we figures it the fuck out, man.
We figure it out, man.
We figure it out, man.
And that
we make it work.
Oh my God! And this is another bleed over. You know, we talk fast because we trying to jam everything in an hour.
Man, we don't talk fast, man. They just listen slow.
Yeah, we try to jam everything in an hour. And going to that, I'm a firm believer in the right now, right now. And we could bring it back if you want to, but I'm just gonna bleed off. Is that it's time for black folks right now, and I'm not talking about legislators and congressmen, blase. I'm talking about us, just to sit on our hands, because shit that's happening to these people out here has been happening. Losing jobs, we all losing jobs now. Black, white, man. We not the ones getting pulled over and fucked with now. You know, they getting pulled over. ICE coming, they taking you out the country. And I'm not trying to poke fun at anybody, but this is the shit
that we've been dealing with.
But they're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
You know, they're scratching the surface, and these motherfuckers is everywhere. They protesting everywhere. Everything is wrong. Everything is heinous. But this is you're just scratching the surface.
That's some shit we've been dealing with.
Yeah. You ain't got to go back a year to see the shit that you complain about now, the shit we've been dealing with. But if you just go back a year, you know, I'm not talking about the 60s and before that when we were doing what we were. I'm talking about just a year and all the heinous stuff that was happening to us and getting caught on video and shooting through apartment walls and getting beat up and getting choked out and unlawfully detained and locked up and separate. This shit happens to us all the time.
Yeah.
So it's time for us to, you know, not in layman's terms, but to sit on our hands and just get some popcorn and watch.
We didn't go out and start burning our Cadillacs.
Yeah, but they complained. They complained about us when they burned the neighborhoods, right? Oh, you guys are burning up your shit. But they now Tesla, they setting them on fire, vandalizing shit. So you're just, this shit happened to you. How long has he been president? Has it been 100 days yet? It's been over 100 days yet.
Well, I mean, he was sworn in January 20th? That's inauguration, January 20th. So what's that? 90 days? January,
February, March, April.
Yeah,
3 months, maybe whatever the count is. It ain't now multiply that. Think about 400 years, and look at what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you guys should be looking at us like, man, y'all should have did more. Y'all should have burnt more shit down. And look at what you guys are doing with what he's in less than a year's time. He's definitely been in office less than a year, let's say, for this presidency.
I mean, he picking back up where he left off.
And look at what he's doing, and look at how you guys are reacting. And you guys used to shame us for any action that we made. Any action we made. You used to shame us. Why you guys do? You're tearing up your own neighborhood. Well, you tearing up your own fucking cars. You know what I'm saying? You got people going against their own beliefs. I'm still gonna buy a Tesla.
I think the shit is entertaining.
Yeah.
I think the shit is fucking entertaining.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm sitting
when
back
I see
and
these
I'm watching.
motherfuckers on LinkedIn and on Facebook and posting, you know, I lost my job and you just voted for that motherfucker.
Yeah, okay. Guess what? Guess what you gonna have now? Instead of ham and cheese, you gonna have a grilled cheese.
Shit,
and then when you run out of cheese, then you're gonna have a smash sandwich. Now, this is shit that we grew up on.
You voted for this shit.
Yeah. We had this thing. And I was laughing because remember you and B, when y'all going back and forth, and you said he trying to outpour me. we you start talking about hard times, and we all try to make it seem like our times
We had the worst hard times.
was the worst.
My shit was fucked up though.
Yeah, my shit wasn't fucked up as yours.
My shit was fucked up.
But my grandma had a lot of grandkids.
Nah, my shit was fucked up.
And we did shit that you look at now. It was fine back then.
Nah, my shit wasn't fine.
Like, we didn't have gallons of milk. We had carnation milk.
Yeah, my shit wasn't
poured
fine.
in some water and on our cereal, but it was fucking delicious.
Powdered milk.
Yes.
Powdered milk. Powdered
Man,
milk.
our stuff was delicious, man.
Nah, that shit wasn't shit delicious
Man,
about.
We was
fucked up.
We was eating pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we thought, man, this is the cat's meow. This is fantastic.
Remember when that remember when the motherfucking peanut butter and jelly came out in the same jar? You know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was like, nigga, we invented this shit in the hood fucking 20 years ago. I remember vividly making a peanut butter and jelly paste and spreading that shit on like saltine crackers, because that was all we had in that bitch. You know what I mean? But yeah, our shit was fucked up, man. Yeah, man. Our shit was fucking bad.
We tried to outpour each other.
Yeah, we definitely was.
Hey, get in the comments and let us know a fucked up thing you had as a kid, or something funny you had as a kid. You know,
it's funny now.
Yeah,
but like, I remember I telling my kids one day, like, you've never come in the house and flipped the light switch and your lights ain't come on.
Yeah,
you've never come in this bitch and went to turn the faucet on and water wasn't running. I was like, there is shit that we dealt with as kids that y'all could never imagine, or I don't think you could live through. But in the same breath, there's shit that I know my mother, you know what I mean, and my aunts went through that they had a struggle that I probably wouldn't have, you know what I mean, survived. You know what I mean? So every generation, you know what I mean, has their shit that they go through.
Without doubt.
Like, you know, I think, you know, the hold that technology has on these kids today is insane. You know what I mean? So, but these motherfuckers got a pretty goddamn smooth life.
Oh yeah. They got an excellent life.
These little motherfuckers got a good thing. They got a good thing.
They definitely got a good thing.
But I think, you know what I mean, I know yours are, I know mine are, I think all our brothers, you know what I mean, they're humble and they're appreciative of what we've provided for them.
Oh yeah.
You know. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of motherfuckers that we know where they kids don't appreciate shit. And it's evident because of the stories that they tell us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And this shit gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. And I hope we take this shit into next week's conversation. And I hope y'all 26 listeners get into our chat and comment on this, because I'm about to strike a motherfucking nerve. But y'all women with these grown ass fucking men still living in y'all fucking houses is a problem. It's a problem. And I'm sorry, let me not say it's a problem. It's a problem when you don't set expectations. It's a problem when you allow them to stay and not do anything or not want to be better. You know what I mean? Like, how can we expect our young black men to be leaders when they're being raised to essentially go out and find another mother figure and be raised by another damn mother? Like, you're not raising them to be leaders. So, yeah, I hope I'm striking a nerve.
Yeah.
You know.
You might strike a nerve.
I hope I'm striking a nerve.
I don't think you, because I don't think you're saying anything derogatory. But if you know
you're
that
more PC than me, so you can say it better than me.
If your kids are in your house and you know that they're not doing nothing, right? They getting up, they barely brushing their teeth, they wearing these pants and no belt and hanging off their tail, and they're not chasing any kind of gainful employment. And you know if your kids are smoking weed now, you can smell it. It ain't reefer no more. They are smoking gas. So you know what's going on. The people you see hanging around your house, in your house, eating your groceries, you know if your kid has a plan. And if he doesn't have a plan, then I'm with my brother. You need to put some kind of time frame on him, and if if you can't help him out, if what you're saying to him is not getting through, then maybe it is time for a change.
Yeah, because I'm not saying don't allow your kids to be in the house. I hate the notion of, and again, I can only speak from our community, the whole thing of, oh, your kids is 18, you grown, it's time to get the fuck out my house. No, I
Yeah.
think that is stupid. So I'm not saying that. But to the folks that's just allowing their kids to sit at home and do nothing, not have a plan at all,
Yeah.
it's crazy to me.
No
My son,
school.
22, he about to graduate in May, next month.
Shout
I
out.
want this little idiot to come home. Like, I don't want him to try to go out there and figure it out on his own. Come home for a couple years, stack your money, let's develop a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying don't have your kids at home. That's what I'm saying. But I know so many people that kids are at home with no plan, and the parents are just like essentially giving an adult an allowance to sit at home. That shit is asinine. This shit is asinine. It's crazy to me.
Fuck around and be the Mendez brothers, where they gonna wait on you to die, so you're
No,
not dying
the
fast
Mendez
enough.
brother ain't waiting on the motherfuckers
Yeah.
to die. They took matters into their own
Yeah, you're not
hands.
dying fast enough. I need this money. I need this. You got life insurance policy, man? You do? Okay.
And we've seen not when I say we, not that we know that, you know what I mean, from anybody we know, but we've seen instances in the news where people have killed their parents, you know what I mean, like the Mendez brothers.
Yeah.
You know, this shit is crazy.
For that dollar.
But yeah, set up. Make sure your kids got plans.
For that dollar.
Make sure your young adults at home got plans. You know what I mean. And that goes. I guess that goes back to the time, like we was talking about with parenting. You know, you talking to your kids as they're coming up and implanting those seeds young. You know what I mean about life.
Yeah.
You know,
Life is life, man. It's definitely changing out here. It's definitely changing.
and there's
It's
a
changing
lot of
fast.
influences. Like I was 1,000% influenced by my community, by my environment, but I also had that crazy nigga that raised me voice in the back of my motherfucking head. You know, I was scared of my mother, and I'm not a kid that got a lot of ass whoopings. Like I can count on one hand the amount of ass whoopings I got. I was scared to death of my mother, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My mother, my father. I was petrified. I seen what he did to my older brother, and when I seen what he did to my older brother, I was like, nah, I don't need that.
I ain't fucking with him.
Yeah, my brother Derek. Shout out to my brother Derek. Shout out to all my sisters too. I only got one brother. I got an older sister, Terrellyn. Then I got Sherilyn. That's Pookie, Keisha, and Jazz. Shout out to my brothers and sisters, man. But my dad did a fantastic job of keeping us together when we were my brother, Derek, Terrellyn, and me, and Pookie at the time. My dad had 4 baby mothers.
Goddamn.
And
Rolling Stone out
yeah,
there.
yeah, 4 baby mothers, right? And all of us are 2.5 years apart. And he kept us together, man.
I can see it, man.
That's how.
Met your pop.
And
Met
you
your
see
pops
my
when he's a
father,
mom. I
right?
can see it.
You see my
Smooth.
father.
He's a smooth dude.
My father's cool as other side of
Smooth
the pillow,
dude.
man. And I never. And the funny thing is, until very later on in life, I never see my dad in no jeans. Always in slacks and shoes. He was a stone cold killer, man. And there was no animosity in with the stuff that goes on now. That, like, if you have 2 or 3 baby mothers, sometimes they have animosity towards each other. There was no animosity with
At least that you knew of.
yeah, that I knew of at the time as a kid. Of course, there was probably, a little bit. I'm not saying it was a smooth like they were calling each other. They weren't best friends.
But you wasn't seeing
Yeah,
broken
but
windows
you,
slash tires.
nah, you ain't see that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say my father's a fucking G. You know what I mean? And he kept us together. All the weekends we were always, it was us four. You know what I'm saying? Us four. My father's a G for it. And shout out to my dad, man. Shout out to my brother Scooter, because we went, when we rode the bikes to Miami, get on the ground, we went to my dad's house. And I hadn't seen my dad in forever. But me and my dad are so much alike. My mother even said it. She said, "You gonna be a sorry bastard just like your dad did." That was what she told me one time. I still remember that shit. But she was right. I'm just like my father. I'm laid back. I'm cool like my father. You know what I'm saying? Self-proclaimed. I'll take it. But that's what it is. It's some wild shit. But he never had no problems, man. And he kept us together. Not the problem that the average person that would have 4 baby mothers has. My dad didn't have that, man. And I saw it firsthand. He didn't have that.
Shit, I got one, and it was a lot. Shit.
Yeah,
one was a lot.
Yeah, my dad's a G, man. Shout out to my dad.
I couldn't imagine having more than one.
Lee Ray. Guess what his nickname was? Dick.
Because he was slinging it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my dad, man. Shout out to my mom. Word. But that's the craziness, man. But yeah.
But yeah,
and my father's thing was time. You know what I'm saying? It was time. Kept
spending time with y'all.
Yeah, he kept us together, man. I didn't want for nothing. I think none of us did. I think he chose his baby mothers right, because they all were gainfully employed. So we were always, on point as far as fashion, But it was time. My dad put time in with us. Put a lot of time in with us.
Time is important.
Yeah.
Like I said, dropping them gems, having those conversations is definitely important. I know my kids used to get tired of hearing me fucking talk. My kids probably would have been like, "Nigga, just beat me." We don't want to hear your fucking long-winded ass damn soliloquies. Just hit me. Just beat me. We tired of hearing you talk. You talking ass thing. I know my kids is probably like, "Yo, Daddy just talked too fucking much." I know they were. But yeah, getting your kids here, man.
Hell yes, and stay in it, man.
It's and this kind of goes back to the young lady, Keimani Latigue, man. Like, there is, if you see, something not right with a kid, and we're not talking about your kids, just kids in general, a neighbor's kid, a family member's kid, kids that that you've seen grow up,
yeah,
and that you can see that it's not their normal character, the way they're acting, I don't want to say step in to the point where you're overstepping, but step in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ask questions or be a little more alert. I don't know what could have been done in that situation, but I feel like something could have been done.
Yeah, a lot of things. Hindsight, of course, is 20/20, but I'm sure that the people that were around her are looking back saying, "I should have seen that shit." I should have seen that shit. You start seeing the signs. But again, hindsight's 20/20. I don't want to put no blame on nobody. But hindsight's 20/20, man.
No, people have put blame on themselves.
Yeah.
In this situation, which, like you said, some Monday morning quarterbacking type stuff. But so that you don't have to be that Monday morning quarterback. If you see something, that whole damn saying, "See something, say something." Shit.
Yeah.
If something don't feel right, something don't seem right, something don't look right. A young lady put something. I'm trying to think of her name. I seen on Facebook, and she was like, said something along the lines of like, "Men, every woman that you talk to probably has been verbally abused or physically abused," and some in some way or another, you know. So think about that the next time you talk to a woman, you know. And that's facts,
Yeah.
you know.
Man,
Don't take that shit for granted, you know.
it's a
But yeah,
rough one.
it is rough.
Rough
It
one,
is
man.
rough.
Rough
But
one.
like I said, I hope I touched a nerve. I hope we get some comments. I hope we could have some conversation about this based off of the feedback that we get from y'all. And
Feedback. Get in the comments. Get in the comments. To respond quickly to the comments that were left.
oh,
We never said that Denzel or Sam was better.
we didn't.
Yeah, we
Somebody did, but we
yeah,
didn't.
it was. I think it was Aries Spears. Aries, that's his name, right? Yeah, Aries
Yeah.
Spears said it on somebody else's talk show, and I think Aries Noonchucks may be on our show soon. But it was a good thing, and it was something to think about,
It's a
man.
good debate.
It was a good debate. So we weren't saying that neither one's better than the other, because I believe they're great. Both of them are great, point blank, period. So watch your mouth.
Yeah, it was a good debate though. And in regards to the Jim Carrey thing, you were wrong.
Yeah,
It wasn't what they
the
say.
Grinch.
The Grinch. It wasn't the Grinch. Okay, it was not the Grinch.
It was Andy Kaufman,
It was Andy Kaufman. Was it Man on the Moon?
Man on the Moon. Yeah.
Oh, and thank you for the insight on the laundry, because you know, moving forward, I may let Carnival, you know, because I am platinum. Okay, so you know, I'm
Shots fired.
you know, I got a long way to diamond, but I'm platinum. So, with that being said, you know, I might start getting my clothes washed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the insight. But yeah, y'all, talk to us in them comments. We can get back to you.
Yeah, get at us, baby. We'll see y'all next week.
All right, we out.
All right, well.
Peace.